Sega Master System, most people feel that Sega started with the Genesis and Sonic and whatever, but Sega had an 8-bit competitor to the Nintendo, and most people don't know about it. There we go. And don't worry, there's nothing wrong with my CRT.
What is going on here? No way, it's 3D.
So they flicker at 60 hertz. Your TV runs at 60 hertz, and you get 30 frames for each eye. The Nintendo, you actually were, in the States, you just wore, a pair of red, blue, or red, green, or whatever. In Japan, they had active 3D for both the Nintendo and the Sega. Except, if you get a 3D TV now, and they say you need a 120 hertz TV because 60 frames for each eye, they want it to be fluid and whatever. Those 3D TVs are often active 3D. So it's really just this running at twice the speed. And so...
the technology hasn't moved that far.
No, not really. What's the first cartridge-based, ROM-based game system? Right?
Yeah.
And the chip is in the middle of the cartridge and then connects to the circuit board on the outside, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the first
Which
one
one
to do that?
Which is it?
You want to guess, or? Yeah.
It's probably some obscure brand I don't know.
So it is a comparatively obscure system. Most people guess the Atari 2600. The Fairchild Channel F right here is the first one to do it.
Wow, from Fairchild, like...
Semiconductor and camera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1 full year before the Atari, 76. So one of the other questions, trivia-wise, that I ask around here is, what's the first 16-bit game system? It turns out 9 years before the Mega Drive, which is the Japanese name for the Sega Genesis, in 1988, there was the Intellivision in 1979, and that is a 16-bit game system. It's slow, but it's 16 bits.
And you even have some games for it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work?
Yep.
Yeah. What's this RCA thing up here?
The RCA Studio II is, RCA was building CPUs for, they were building CPUs for computers and that sort of a thing. They were going into space, they were hardened, and someone was like, well, why don't we turn one of these general purpose CPUs into a game system? Much like what happened with the Fairchild Channel F, actually. This is going to be, it's our work in progress Japanese computer and game.
Oh, that's cool. This will be great.
Stuff from here. I mean, you can already see a bit of this forming. We're going to have the NEC PCs here. We have Sega versus Nintendo in Japan here. We have Sharp computers here. We have Fujitsu computers here. And then there was a line of computers called the MSX that we're going to do against this wall. He brought this machine in and he said, back in the day, when this game first came out, it was running in absolutely every computer store because it was the best technical demonstration of the machine at the time. You notice it only touched the disc for maybe 5 seconds or something like that, and we get this 3-minute music animated intro sequence with like reasonable graphics and decent music and whatever. So the combination of it loads really quick and obviously shows off the capabilities of the machine really well meant that it was an instant hit with store demos.
We'll have to think if I've got anything I can donate.
Yeah, if you have any just random old, I would say, weird media of any kind, but like, I don't really care about VHS. I don't really care about DVDs, but I do if it's interesting subject matter on the tape. But I do care about stuff like beta or laser discs or stuff like that, because I think that's something that a lot of people didn't get a chance to experience, and I want to put it on a table and be like, here, play with this. Any computer before the year 2000, any game from any era, really, even a modern game, because I'm going to have to collect these eventually. One thing I want to do is build a complete software library so that people can come in and say, I never got a chance to play such and such, or can I show my kid Duck Hunt, or and you need a CRT to play Duck Hunt, so you can't play it on a flat panel TV. So that's another example of I have a ton of CRTs all around, and I have an NES, so we can show a kid how to hook up a Nintendo. The kid will be learning something, but the kid's just going to be like, I'm going to play games, and suck in all of this information about how to play their game.